Hi, so guys, this disc rotor, we are going to install this on our Aerox. So this is 230 mm disc rotor, 3 mm minimum width. So this is a race spec disc rotor. It has petal disc shape and it comes with hole inlets for air. So the disc plate remains cold and helps in performance. It comes with a booklet. Sorry, it's folded a little bit. It came like this in the packing. I got this imported from Indonesia. So here how all the installation and the torque spec of the nuts and bolts is given. So same book comes for S series and E series. This is E series. So you have to measure the disc brake runout for your old disc and you use a vernier caliper. So let me just grab my vernier caliper. So here it is. This is how you have to measure the width of the vernier. So it is coinciding at 3 mm. So it is 3 mm in size. Okay. So it's 230 mm radius. So this will be installing on our Aerox. So to install this disc, first we have to remove the wheel from the hub. So for that we have to undo these two bolts. These are 40 mm bolts. So what we have to do is undo these first. Okay, keep them safely. And while doing this, always make sure that you have your, here I'm using a box. You can use a jack if you have, or you can use a similar box. Always support your bike with something box. Otherwise, once this becomes loose, chances are that your bike might fall and you might damage your fork or bend your fork. So always make sure that you have a sturdy. So see, now it is stable, doesn't move. So it is quite stable. You have to place it on the belly pan. So that way the bike becomes stable and your front tire is loose. So now we'll tap it from here. So you can see this nut is coming out. So just keep tapping and lift your tire a little bit and just wiggle this out. And this is your rod. This supports the tire. So once you're done with that, the wheel should easily slip out. So here we go, guys. See, now once the tire is removed, you have your box stable over there. So your bike is stationary and sturdy. I'm not supporting it, so it will stand. It will not move. So that is how you remove your front wheel. Now I'll show you the next step of, you have to undo these 3 bolts and the 1 minute, let me just grab my disc. So this will fit exactly onto these bolts. Once we do that, tighten it, reverse the process, place the rod inside, use a little bit of greasing or WD-40 and hopefully you're good to go. So this is a 6 mm Allen key. So we just have to turn it gently, it will open. So just turn it anti-clockwise. So note, every bolt has to be turned anti-clockwise. So that's number 1. So this is number 2. Second bolt. Gently, just turn it gently, it will come out. A little bit of finagling is needed. And gently turning this will come out. Okay. So be very gentle because you might slip the thread of the screw. That you cannot afford to do that. So these are the 3 bolts which hold the disc assembly. Now you just have to gently lift it and the disc is off. This is your ABS ring. Before installing, make sure that you clean everything, and because once it's installed, you will not be able to reach your fingers and clean it. So while it is off, make the most of it, reach your fingers and just clean it around. You can even use WD to clean. Make sure you don't do anything funny with the ABS ring, otherwise your ABS might send a fault code. Okay, so just make sure that you clean everything inside out. Okay, so once you're done, then I'll show you what next to do when the disc has to be assembled. Okay, so this is the disc that we are going to replace. As I showed you, it's an RCB disc. So now the most important thing is, this is your thread locking compound 1242. It's from Germany, so you need to have this. Just place it around your thread. Okay, and it's blue because I love blue, so a little bit in the thread hole. So this will secure your threads. So that is how you place it. So once you remove it, just place your disc here. So see, you can see how it fits. It's a very snug and a perfect fit. So just finger tighten it. Okay, that is how you do. So you take another screw, same thing, repeat the process. Just put your threads, some thread locker into the threads, and just turn it around. Okay, and make sure when the disc is moving, you put it on the maximum right and then you tighten it. Not on the left, on the right, because when the wheel is rotating, your disc is obviously pulled on the right. So here is where the caliper sits. So that is how you have to do. Always push your disc. When there is play, always use the play towards your right side. Okay. Now coming to the last bolt. Same thing, repeat the process. Use your thread locker and just go ahead and thread it down. And always remember, if you're tightening one screw, the next screw that you tighten should be diagonally opposite. So in this case, all the three bolts are diagonally opposite to each other. So make sure that you put it on the maximum right side position. First tighten all the screws with your fingers before you apply any force with the machine. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to use the impact wrench and just tighten it. You can set the speed from here and trigger it, then it will put a torque on that. So here's the guy. You have to torque it down to around 40 to 50 newtons. That is more than enough. If you tighten it more, maybe you will slip the thread, that we don't want at any cost. Once you've put the thread locker, you should be rest assured that it will get secured. And then once the thread locker is done, just make sure you just check your thread once, apply maximum force in the direction of the thread, make sure it's engaged well into the socket like that, and then so once you're done, make sure that there's no play in this. There's no play, absolutely no play. Okay, that is what we want. Now we'll take it and go back to the bike and we will install it back into the bike. Stay tuned. So you can see now, guys, the tire is fixed with our new disc. So this is how it will look. It's a Raceboy RCB E series floating petal disc. Light in weight, dissipates heat better, and because of the already threaded, laser threaded pattern, there's a better bite to it. So you can expect 20 to 30% better biting force. You can even change your brake pads, but it will work with the stock brake pads, nothing to worry. So this is one nut which we are going to tighten. So tap this nut secure and start doing the nut. Once that is done, use your T-wrench or any other wrench which you have and just turn it down. So once this torque is done, make sure you thread it really well. So that's done. So now you can lift your bike and check if the thread is moving freely. The tire should have absolutely no play. It should be as good as the one. Fine. So now is the time to go and test ride your machine.